Captain Mtsweni testified about missing documents that could have supported Bongani Ntanzi's case, but the state responded with a powerful response. A missing document, a disputed cell phone, and two completely different versions of what actually happened in that police station. This is the side of the trial where the state pushes back. I'm back, Wanakochai. I'm back, Kupuskapinelo. There is a missing OB in the evidence of the Valeria police station. This missing OB is the day that Ntanzi is received at this police station. The first time he's at this police station. So he is coming from a previous police station and he's now coming to Valeria. Now, Mr. Ramasipile made it very clear he wanted to see where was Ntanzi coming from, and he also wanted to see how was Ntanzi received, his condition, okay? Was he well? Did he have injuries? Did he have any complaints? Now, because the OB is missing, Mr. Ramasipile says that there is no way of moving forward because this information cannot be obtained from the Valeria police station. The missing OBs could support Ntanzi's version or they could support the state version. However, because the OBs are not available and are missing, Mr. Ramasipile had to stop himself from asking the witness a question because he believes because there is no occurrence book, there is no way I can continue asking you questions because you have no way of remembering what actually happened. Now, the state in response said something powerful. They say the occurrence book cannot be the only document relied on to assist the court when it comes to evaluating what actually happened on the day Ntanzi was received at Valeria. As a result, during the cross-examination of Captain Mtsweni, Dr. Sibanda took him through the cell registers and he was directed to a column where he was asked to read, which was the conditions that Ntanzi was received with no complaints. He had no injuries, and therefore he was taken to a cell. Because we don't have SAP 10, they have gone through SAP 13. It's the cell register that has that information, which the state says. This is why we say you cannot just rely on the OB. Yes, it might have more information, but the information that's been asked by Mr. Ramasipile can be found in the cell register, and the captain read it out. Now the question is, this witness who happens to be Ntanzi's witness, his evidence, does Captain Mtsweni's evidence support Ntanzi or does it completely expose contradictions in his versions? Captain Mtsweni has explained that an occurrence book is an official police document which captures who a suspect is and most importantly the condition that he is brought in. But here's the problem. The occurrence book is missing. Losing an occurrence book is a criminal offense, by the way. So it got tense. It got tense. I don't want to lie. It got tense because here is Ramasipile is pushing that narrative because those were questions to the captain. Why is this important for Ntanzi's case? Ntanzi has claimed that the police tortured him in order for him to confess to the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Now, if he was tortured by the police, this would have been captured on the occurrence book, because his condition would be there in terms of how he was received at Valeria when he arrived. So it's important for us to have those documents so we can see how he was received, his condition of receival or receipt. Am I cooking? So it's unfortunate at this point because those documents that can confirm that cannot be found right now. at this present moment. We can't locate them. But you know the state is like, hold up. Wait a minute. It's not over yet. Listen, Linda. Linda, listen. We're not just going to leave it there. It doesn't end there. I know, Mr. Ramsapil. I know, Mr. Ramsapila, you want us to believe that the OB is the Bible. The Bible of a police station. But come on. Ever heard of the Holy Trinity? We cannot just rely on a current book because things happen. These things can go missing. There could be a fire, you know? So what happens then? The state says the occurrence book is not the only document the court can rely on to determine Ntanzi's condition. Okay, cook, doctor. Meaning, even without the occurrence book, there is still other evidence, there's still other documents the court can rely on to determine Ntanzi's condition, like the cell registers. They say that there are hourly visits at this police stations. If there were issues, surely you would have reported them. This is where it gets interesting, because it was at this moment when the state pointed to a key record of evidence in this case, the register of Ntanzi's belongings. According to the register of Ntanzi's belongings, there is no record of a cell phone that was taken from Ntanzi by the police. It is empty. No cell phone from Ntanzi. Nada. But of course, Ntanzi claims that the police took his cell phone and they used the cell phone to contact his family members, his girlfriends, his friends, his colleagues, his mentors, his teammates, everything in the box the police were doing at this point. Contacting them contacting the police, vice versa communication. And Ntanzi had no idea this was happening. That is, of course, a major contradiction, because now there's no record of the police ever taking your phone. And of course, Mabena has not been coming to the police station the same amount of times these calls have been happening. So please explain, who's calling who, how, where, and when. So the court is dealing with two different versions, which is Ntanzi's version, which says that the police confiscated my phone when they arrested me, and they continued to use my phone, contacted my family members, and my family members contacted the police. They were having relations, and I had no idea this was happening. And the police say, we did not take any phone from Ntanzi. Go and check the cell phone evidence. Go and check the section 205. You will see the tower evidence that says on the 17th of June, that phone was still pinging in Freedom Park. And the police were in Joburg, so was Ntanzi. So how at this point could the police have his phone and the register of belongings has no evidence of a phone that was confiscated from Ntanzi? That is what the court is currently dealing with. This is what the captain's evidence actually does. It confirms a missing OB. When it comes to the evidence of the OB, it highlights a procedural issue, but it does not confirm Ntanzi's version. His evidence also, for me, it does not explain the contradiction in the belongings register. So instead of strengthening Ntanzi's case, as this was Ntanzi's witness, it actually leaves gaps. And the state is nicely filling in those gaps. for us in completing a picture of their own evidence. When I go high, they are still getting corroboration even after they've closed their case. So now the contradictions become clear. Ntanzi says, the police took my phone and they used it to contact my family. Official records say no phone was taken. Now the defense are relying on missing documents, and the state is relying on existing documents to prove their case. And Judge Ratta's job will be to decide which version is supported by the evidence that he is faced with. I want to hear what you think. Do you think the missing document creates doubt, or the belongings register weakens Ntanzi's case? What do you think? If you want real breakdowns of proceedings like this, please make sure you subscribe, because in this trial, even paperwork can decide the outcome. Thank you for watching. Wanna go higher? Bye.